Well, welcome back to another episode of the Financially Free Journey podcast, and I am your host, Courtney Dyer, and I am so excited that we are in season 3. I feel like I say I'm really excited at the beginning of every episode, but that's because I genuinely am. I love this podcast, and I love the fact that we have been growing so much. And the fact that you guys continue to come back to the show and listen and support and to leave reviews and to tell your family and friends about it, it is just, honestly, it is so meaningful to me. And I appreciate it so much because I know there's so many like gurus, quote unquote, and money experts that you could go out and listen to. And the fact that you choose to listen to my show for some of your, knowledge and support that you need in your money journey is just amazing to me, and it's why I keep doing this. And I actually got a review. I was reading the reviews this morning before I started recording, and it's probably my favorite review yet, guys, because in the review it said some really great stuff about, simple and easy to understand, but at the end of the episode it said, and you might even hear a baby giggle in the background. And I appreciate that because you guys, if you don't know, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I, work, and financial freedom is a major passion of mine, and I have my 5-year plan to be completely financially free within the next 5 years. And that's why all of the knowledge that I have acquired through all of my time in the financial industry and through my schooling and all that great stuff, that's why I do this show, because I want to share it with you guys, because I just have such a passion around it. And I know that it's not something that's easily accessible, even though, yes, we're in the day and age of, the internet and you can Google anything, but there's a lot of misconceptions around money and specifically financial freedom, because there's so many different people claiming these like get rich quick, do day trading and you can make $1 million in like a month or whatever, right? And that may work for some people, but my goal is for you guys to be able to be steady and consistent in the approach that you're taking with your money and what you're doing to achieve your goals. So that way you have sustainable wealth to help support time freedom for you. So you can go do whatever it is that you want. And I heard something the other day where it said, instead of saying retire, it's that you now become work optional. And I love that. It's like, I want to be work optional, where it's not something that I have to do every day, but maybe I love my career and I still want to do it. And that's fantastic. Contributing to something that's meaningful to you is amazing. And I want you to do that, but I want it to be an option for you and not something you feel forced and shackled to do to be able to pay your bills and, make rent every month. And so that's the purpose of this. And so I appreciated that review, because yes, I am a mom, and I have a huge passion around helping my kids learn how to be successful with their money and be able to have that entrepreneurial mindset, because it's really what's going to get them ahead. And I have to share with you guys really quick, because if you're a parent, you're going to appreciate this. I have a 2nd grader, and for him, we're doing, addition and subtraction. And, they bring home these worksheets every night. And if you have kids, this, they've got to pass them off at a certain amount of time. And it's just something that stresses him out. And maybe it's that type A personality that I might have passed down to him, sorry, son, but I did. And he gets so stressed about it. And so I found these games. They are math games, and they're fantastic. They are by a company called Games by Absolute Zero. And if you're a parent, you will appreciate this. You'll have to check out their website. But the lady that created these decks of cards, she turned them into games, but she used to be a teacher herself, where she was in the classroom teaching kids. And it's like, kids don't want to learn about, money or numbers or math in general. It's like not their favorite thing. And so she created these games to make math fun. And so it's like you're playing the game War, but it's to be able to have positives and negatives and to be able to reach zero. So that's their signature game. And it's called Absolute Zero. And they have a junior edition, because I also have a 4-year-old. And believe it or not, my 4-year-old, and I was astonished by this, but because it was in a game format, he was loving it. He was able to take the positives and the negatives and to get to zero. And the fact that he could comprehend that because of the format that this game was put in was absolutely amazing. And they have other games like 10 Fish and just some really cool stuff that you should definitely check out if you're a parent. And so, and I digress. I just wanted to tell you because, again, I think it's so important to teach children about money, and it really starts with math and having a really good understanding of math. And I just thought that was so cool. So anyway, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is how compounding interest can help make you rich or make you a millionaire, and can it really, right? And I first want to start out with what compound interest is. Like, what is that exactly? And I want to give you a visual. Compound interest is like a snowball. And when you're trying to make a snowman, you don't just start out with this huge snowball, right? You make a little tiny snowball and you keep packing on more snow. You roll it around as it gets bigger and bigger, right? And it just gets more and more massive. And that is compound interest. Compound interest is the phrase, if you've ever heard it, which I know you have, I know you've heard it from me, but to make your money work for you. So in a nutshell, compounding interest, that's exactly what it does. It's your money making money for you over time, which is a great form of what? Passive income. And I know you guys have heard me talk about passive income a ton, and it's because the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And you know they're not exchanging their time for all 7 streams of income. Those streams are passive. So compound interest can grow your wealth because it's interest that's earned on top of interest already earned. This concept applies not just to the money that you save in your bank account, right? But also on returns that you earn on your investments as well. As you all know by now, I am super passionate about education in our country, as well as your ability to increase your earning potential, which is why I'm so excited to tell you about this episode's sponsor. It's called Teachers of Tomorrow. So listen to this. The nation's leading alternative teacher certification provider, the most comprehensive provider of teacher services in the United States. Their mission is simple. It's to develop confident educators who believe in the potential of every student, and has helped more than 70,000 teachers reach the classroom. They have created a new way to become a teacher. And for the first time ever, you can become a certified teacher 100% online. So this means, number one, you don't have to go back to college, no student loans. You're not putting your life on hold because you have to work full time while you're trying to study. I mean, that's really hard to balance. The best part is this, guys. You can start teaching and earning a full-time salary in months, not years. Their state-approved program is designed with one goal in mind, which is to help you achieve your dream of teaching quickly, affordably, and simply. Teachers of Tomorrow has partnered with the podcast and is offering you a free application and a discounted enrollment fee of $295, which is $100 instant savings. This is the only fee that you pay, by the way, until you're hired full-time, earning full pay and benefits. So to claim this offer, just simply click the link in the show notes and episode description. Now, investing is one of the most powerful things you can do to build your wealth for long-term success. You know, I've talked about this a lot, and I'm going to talk about it till I'm blue in the face, I think. But in Singapore, a high-yield savings account, just for example, may give you 1% annual interest. And that's if you've fulfilled all the necessary criteria that they've given you. But an investment account in Singapore, for example, it'll give you an average annual return of 6.9%. And so this is just to show you the difference. It's the same exact in the United States. In the United States right now, a high yield savings account getting 1% annual interest would just be like amazing, because the state of our interest rates are so incredibly low because of the Treasury. And so you're not making money by keeping your money in a savings account in a bank. Now, your emergency fund, absolutely. Keep that in a high yield savings, keep it fully liquid. That needs to be 3 to 6 months of, just how much it costs you to live, right? Your bare essentials, not necessarily all your spending, but your absolute needs for 3 to 6 months. The rest of it, you need to look for an option to be able to at least keep up with inflation, because this is a concept that a lot of people don't talk about as well, but inflation is on average 3%. But because our country just signed the most debt possible that it has over the time that our country's ever existed, we are going to be coming into a state of high inflation, and some are even thinking hyperinflation. And what does that mean? That means that things are going to start costing a lot more to buy. And that means when you go to the gas pump, you're already seeing this happen, but it costs a lot more to fill up your tank than it did maybe a year ago. Inflation will continue to happen. And that's because our currency is devalued, because the more money you have in circulation, the less your money is worth. Okay. And so I know a lot of people will say, I've heard this before, like, why don't we just print more money? Well, this is why. It's a supply and demand issue, right? And so if you have too much supply, the demand goes down. So things cost more. It costs more to live. So finding an investment option that will allow your money to compound is going to be a key to continuing to build wealth and outpace inflation. So here's an example of how compounding interest works just to turbocharge your investment. So let's just say that you invest $100,000 today. 20 years later, your original investment would have more than tripled to $386,000 and some change, assuming you earned somewhere around 7%. Okay. So just to put it simply, your investment grew through compound interest. So by leaving your investment untouched, your portfolio gains were reinvested. Remember, I mentioned it's interest growing on top of interest already earned. So interest grew on both your principal, that initial $100,000 you put in, and the reinvested gains over time. Okay. But if you took out the interest on your investment each year without reinvesting it, you'll only earn $7,000 every year for a total of $140,000. Now you compare that to the $286,000 that you would have earned if you had let compounding interest do its magic instead. So that's just a visual to show you how compounding interest is extremely powerful. So how can compounding interest work for you? Well, to reap the benefits of compounding, remember that time is your best friend when you're investing, right? I mean, time is everything. It is your most important commodity, arguably more important than the amount of money you're even investing, because time is where compound interest can really do its magic. The earlier you start investing, the more your money is gonna grow. So let's look at two examples here. Let's just call them Ken and Barbie to keep it simple. Now, let's say Ken starts investing at age 25. He invests, let's say, $20,000 every year for a total of 10 years. And then he stops contributing to his investment portfolio and he leaves his money invested for the next 30 years. Let's say Barbie starts investing, she begins at age 35 and she invests $20,000 for every year for 30 years. Well, can you tell me which one of them is going to be richer at retirement? Who's going to have the dream house? Is it going to be Ken or is it going to be Barbie? Well, what you will know is that when you benefit the most is going to be from time. Now, investing as soon as possible. In the scenario I just gave you, Ken invests for only 10 years, but ends up with more money than Barbie, and who started investing later, even though she invested for a longer period of time. And that's because time is of the essence. And I just wanted to give you that silly example just to really paint that picture and drive that concept home for you. Now, you can also see from this example, if you kind of write that out later, is that it gets progressively steeper and steeper over time when you look at the amount of money that's compounding and how much it's growing. And this really reflects how compounding builds on itself and then it just turbocharges and accelerates your wealth creation. And Warren Buffett, the master and guru himself, he exemplifies this the best. It took him roughly 56 years to build a net worth of $1 billion, but to turn $1 billion to $60 billion, it only took 27 years. Now, that was thanks to the power of compounding. The largest increases in his net worth took place in later years of his investments. And this is also why patience and long-term perspective is super important when it comes to investing. So, I hope that this episode gave you a really good idea of compounding interest and how it works exactly. And the question that I posed was, can compound interest make you a millionaire? And yes, it absolutely can. What you need to do is you need to take in consideration how old you are, how much money you have to invest, and the length of time you can allow it to be invested by the time that you would like to start pulling money out of it. You can do this by going to a compound interest calculator online. There's some really good ones. I like the one that's compoundinterest.gov. That's a really simple compound interest calculator. What you need to do, just go pop in your starting investment value. Say it's $100 if you're just starting now, how much you're going to contribute each year or each month. You can choose the options. And then the average market return over the last 100 years, it has been 10%. And so that's what I put in there as my example to see how the money could grow when I'm considering investing money and letting the gains, compound over time and reinvest into the investment portfolio. And it'll show you, it'll say how long you want to leave it invested for. And let's say you want to retire in 10 years, 20, 30 years, whatever the case is for you, when you want to become work optional, you can pop that number in there and you can customize it to your situation. And that's what I would suggest when you're done listening to this episode, or maybe you're already doing it now, go to compoundinterest.gov, put all your information in the calculator and see what would it take for you to become a millionaire by using the eighth wonder of the world called compound interest. So I hope that's helped you on your journey to financial freedom. And as always, make sure that you're following us on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Financially Free Journey. I post daily tips, motivation, videos to help you with your financially free journey. Until next time.